Hi guys, good morning. I have a story to read today called Mrs. McNosh and the Great Big Squash. And it's written by Sarah Weeks, pictures by Nadine Bernard Westcott. The first day of spring, Mrs. Nellie McNosh went out to her garden and planted a squash. She pushed the seed in with the tip of her toe, and the minute she did, it started to grow. At first it was round and as big as a head. In fact, it looked just like the paperboy Fred. Then it turned yellow and bumpy and fat. It rolled from the garden and it flattened the cat. It knocked over trash cans and ran over toes. It twisted the sprinkler and plugged up the hose. It crashed through the clothesline and smashed through the fence, scaring the pants off two elderly gents. Poor Nellie was worried. She said, "Oh my gosh, there's got to be some way to slow down this squash." She slapped it and scolded it, pinched it and kicked it, and then she took hold of its stem and she picked it. "Now what do I do?" wondered Mrs. McNosh. "I've got to find something to do with this squash. There isn't a place in the world it will fit. It's big as a house." "Wait," said Nellie. "That's it. It's big as a house," and she got a clue. "I wonder what she'll do." And so, by the light of a big yellow moon, she scooped and she scraped with a long-handled spoon. And when the sun rose, where was Mrs. McNosh? Curled up, sound asleep, in her big yellow squash. How cool to do some gardening just from a seed that giant squash grew. So Lincoln, Lennon, and I have been doing a little gardening out on our lanai, and we've been making things from old food that we found in our fridge or from scraps from fruits and vegetables. So one thing that we've been doing is regrowing a pineapple, and this one we just started today. And this is pretty cool because if you remove the bottom fruit from the pineapple and you put it in water, after a few days some roots start to grow, and they start to grow right off of the bottom here. And once the roots grow, you can plant it into some soil and it'll grow. And we actually have another one going on. We have this one. This one we planted probably about a month or two ago, and it's growing really good. We water it each day. And we've got some other things that we've been growing. This was a cabbage, the bottom from a cabbage that we used for dinner. And we put it into the water to get some roots and then into soil. And now it's got new cabbage leaves that are growing off of it, which are pretty cool to watch. And we've also regrown some green onions. Once we had cut them down and we had used them, we planted the bases in soil. And within a few days, all this new green onion sprouted from it. Pretty cool, and we've been using these daily. I put them in my scrambled eggs, I put them on pizza, I put them in different meals. This one's not growing the greatest. We planted a potato. We put a potato in there and a lot of greens started coming out, but now it's not doing a whole lot. And then we also replanted, this was some romaine lettuce, and yesterday we actually celery, this was celery. And yesterday we actually snipped the fresh stalks and we used it in some chicken soup. And then this is romaine lettuce, and every now and then the boys will pluck some of the lettuce leaves and they'll make a little salad with it, or they'll put it in with their meal. So it's kind of fun to do some gardening, and you can do it right at home and just from things that you find in the refrigerator. I miss you guys. I hope we'll see you soon, and happy gardening. Maybe you can find some seeds at home, or maybe you can find something left over in your fridge that you haven't used in a while that you can regrow. Check with mom or dad or grandma and grandpa and see what you can come up with. Bye guys.